but oh, perfect. There we go. So let's get started. We're 7:01.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get started.
Yep.
Okay, start.
Perfect.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes, definitely welcome. We're happy to see you all after a short, long summer, because it's been a few months that we haven't seen you, but it has been very short. I don't have much housekeeping, honestly. Just a nice reminder that your Photographer of the Year contest deadline is coming up. The deadline is November 1st, and all the information you need is in your handbook. So the deadlines, how to size, everything that, just a little write-up in there as well. I think Dion had posted a screenshot of it in our group as well for those that may have missed. If you misplaced your handbook, just let me know and I'll send you another copy by email. And the next meeting is on October 18th. So make sure to block that off in your calendars. So other than that, I don't have much housekeeping. What's that, Jean-Guy?
The date changed. I just looked in the handbook. It was on the 20th. Did you change the date?
Yeah, because we're in Fogo.
Oh, Fogo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the
20th, October. No, there's not 20th. October.
Yeah.
October
Here
18th.
It says on October the 20th.
It does. Yeah.
I have the 18th.
Well, I have the 18th.
The 20th is a Friday.
Right,
So
and
I
we
know,
always
it's a
meet on
Friday.
Wednesdays. And we always meet on
That's
Wednesdays.
weird.
So
That might be a typo.
yeah.
But it's always a Wednesday. So it'd be the 18th.
18th,
It was supposed to be the 20th of this month of September. But October 18th, the Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it was a typo there. I'm not sure. But definitely not on a Friday.
Okay.
Perfect. So what's next is that some of you have submitted a 5 photos that you worked over the summer. That was what we call like the IT, putting you in your photographs. So we're going to share that presentation. So your name's going to pop up. You can say either your artist statement or how you built this body of work or what you felt while doing this body of work. If you want to say something, if you don't want to say something, that's okay too. And I'm just going to click through your 5 photos and that's it. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen just a second. There, so can everybody see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. So putting the you in your photographs. And Gilles is first. So Gilles, do you have a few things you want to say?
Uh-oh.
Muted.
No?
He's muted.
Yeah,
If
we can't seem to.
you can't seem to.
Can't see. You know what? If worst case, I think Gilles sent me his artist statement by email. Gilles, do you want me to read it? Okay.
Say yes.
Hold on. Let me see here. Yeah, he did there.
Okay.
Oh. I'm just gonna hold on. I'm going to stop my share for a second so I can find it. Sorry, guys.
You can hear okay, right, Jill? Okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to read it and then I'll do the screen share just because I can't have both up at the same time there. So, artist statement. The rock is strong. The rock does not quit. The rock is there on a sunny day or a violent storm. The rock is steady. On good days and bad days, the rock is always there. In light or in dark, the rock is there. With others, a rock can build something solid, and on its own, a rock is just a solid. Often overlooked and neglected, the rock doesn't let this stop it, as it is solid, the rock.
Interesting.
Okay.
Good show.
Mhm.
You there, Karen?
Yeah.
You sharing the screen?
Oh, am I? Oh, no, I was. Thank you
Ri-
for saying that. I was going to the photos and counting to 5, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Rise and shine.
Whoa, okay.
All right. I don't feel so
There we
bad
go.
now.
Can you guys see this now?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. I think-
Good. Interesting.
Oh, wait. One more maybe? There
So
we
you
go.
decided
Lynn.
to go all black and white. Which is cool.
I don't think.
Yeah. Bonjour, Lucie.
I think someone wanted in and I couldn't let them in at the same time. There, what is?
I just did.
Oh, you did. Okay. In my
15 to 30-second exposures for Gilles.
Okay.
On all of his rocks. So that's the dreamy effect thing with the water. Good stuff. Well done, Gilles. Okay, so now we're going with Lynn.
Lynn. Do you have anything to say, Lynn?
No, just
Okay.
just go.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Jean-Guy,
Yeah,
you have something to say?
no,
No. Okay. Lisa, would you like to say a few words?
It's the daisies are what I wanted to capture them before they got bulldozed. I did landscaping on my property, so
Oh,
it was a lot of weeds came up in the interim, and it was mostly daisies, which is quite nice. So
yeah, cool. Right on.
Great. Lila.
Mine is called 5 Variations on a Theme, and it's about the sea and how the storms and how much they really permeate my being. And it's from the area where I grew up. So
Is this Cape Breton?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And you can go.
Well done.
Good.
That last one looked like it was like a ghost, kind of like in the mist. Barbara. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, I just had to unmute. I was talking
Oh.
about the banjo frogs, and that these were pictures that I did while I was there. And in the photos, I did overlays of them with the camera pretty much while I was there. Some of it I did at home, but I wanted to show the movement because while I was taking the photos, there was just enough of a breeze that was moving all the leaves around and the highlights on the leaves and on the water. And I just wanted to try and catch that. And I was using a fairly low exposure, like a low shutter speed. So there's a bit of camera movement because I was crouching down in a weird angle. It was unintentional, but it looked really good, so I kept it.
Right on.
And so it was a fun little project up there at the edge of the parking lot. So that's it. I don't remember what I called it. There was a name for it, but I don't remember.
And that's it.
Right on. Good stuff.
Good.
So maybe a
Yeah.
little discussion would be nice, just to get a little bit more insight. For an example, I'm going to put you on the spot, Lynn. You did some really cool movement photographs, camera movement, and then you went to straight flowers. Were they both the same subjects? Like, were they the same subject?
No, there was two different,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, just one, like, I had a rough summer this
Yeah.
summer. Like I had no energy at all, so I
Right.
couldn't do everything I wanted to do.
Sure.
As much as I love photography and everything, I couldn't do it. So it was very short every time I went out to do this project. So the timing and everything wasn't quite there.
Okay.
So I had to do it in two different, a few different days.
Mhm.
So with different, different, obviously, you're not feeling the same
Sure.
feelings every day. So I just had to improvise to send you a couple of pictures.
Good. Well, I appreciate your tenacity there, like to everything you're going through, and you still managed to submit, which is really cool. But even in some of your pictures, Lynn, with what you were, your low energy and all that stuff, you still put a few energetic photographs with the camera movement.
Yeah.
So you kind of did that. Gilles, you decided to go black and white. Oh, you can't speak. You can't. Okay. Like to
He
just
can
ask.
text.
Yeah,
Maybe he can text.
text it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, good. You decided to go all black and white, and was long time exposure and all this stuff. So it was great. Lila, why concentrate on home? Like why? Because you said in your talk that it was all about home,
Yeah, well, it was about, well, it's like
where you
it
grew
was,
up, type of thing.
yeah, well, it was putting the U, so the
Yeah.
ocean is very much a part of me. And I wanted to do like five different rocks in the sea,
Sure.
huge, and the
Sure.
storms and how you saw how the colors changed right
Yeah.
after a storm, and then I did an ICM as well. So that was
Right.
all of the ocean too. So
Nice. No,
yeah,
very
I
good.
enjoy doing it. Yeah, I'm often taking photographs of the sea.
Right.
So,
Well, that's definitely part of you, right?
yes,
And
yes,
nature, of course, nature. right?
Yeah.
And Barbara, was this part of your in Caraquet, your residency, or did you do this before?
Oh, no, these were done before. These were done probably the end of June, early July.
Right.
And actually the ones of the trees, I had forgotten exactly which ones I'd sent in actually.
Right.
But the
Okay.
trees were done in our backyard because our house has a drop back in the upstairs. We look, even on the main floor, we look right into the trees.
Right.
And I kind of planned it for the ICM effect that I was going to, and I think I used the pinhole lens with the tree pictures.
It's kind of your trademark.
Well, it's something I'm
Right.
really fascinated by.
Yeah.
I just like
Yeah.
the sort of different dream-like or fuzzy effect that you can get with it, and especially with the camera movement and
Right.
the way the light comes out, it's quite ethereal. But I would also say that not every picture I do turns out, I pick out the ones that I think are successful. There are other ones
Right.
that are just there in the
Yeah.
camera. But
Yeah.
no, it was really enjoyable, and I started doing a new series that I don't know what's going to happen when I get back with all this new material, but for some panels, like do 4 or 5 that go together instead of like the series that I have on display
Right.
up here. It's like each picture is a separate, they're related by the way I did them, but they're each a separate idea instead of the next thing it'll be like 4 or 5 that are all sort of related,
Interesting. Yeah.
like a set.
Good.
But so
Cool.
I was doing those photographs with that idea in mind, the trees, but then I liked certain ones really very well just as photos. So,
Cool. No, interesting. Always artsy with you. So, which is good.
well,
Jean-Guy,
yeah.
yeah. Jean-Guy, I'm going to come right back to you. First, I would like to welcome a friend of mine, Annette White. I invited her to come join us tonight to see these presentations. And Annette, we go way back, her and I, from childhood, a long, long time ago. And she's pushing me really hard to write a book. So I've been doing a little bit of writing and stuff. So she wants to help me do that. So, and I thank you very much. So I wanted to invite her because the presentation that I'm doing tonight is all stuff that I wrote. So I just wanted her to get an idea. So anyway, welcome, Annette. Thanks for joining us. Pleasure to see you as always. And she just turned into a grandmother 2 weeks ago. So,
Right, yeah.
some congratulations.
Congrats.
Right. So Jean-Guy,
Yes.
your photos were like very intricate, beachy, peaceful type of photographs, close up. What's your process there? Why did you go that route?
Well, first I don't know where to go photograph around here, so I'm always going at Party Beach,
Right.
and that's where all those photos were taken.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be all on one theme or
No, just personal, just part of you.
yeah.
You know,
So that's
you
what I did.
yeah.
Yeah, I
What
like
what
yep.
I was gonna say, what I noticed with yours was that in each one you have something that's like soft with something a little bit harder. So like the
Yeah.
flower and the fence, and
Yeah,
then the piece of wood with like the sand that was soft, and then you had the feather which was soft with like the sand that was grainy. So there was always
Yeah.
like a contrast of soft versus hard.
yeah. Well, that piece of wood, I really like the waves that the sand was making, and the way that the sand moved around the piece of wood, and it was the same for the I don't know how you call it, the sand dune grass or
Hidden
something.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could see the
Yeah.
marks on the sand where the
Mhm.
leaves are just in the wind, are just going
Yeah.
and moving, and yeah, that's what caught my eye there.
Cool. Cool. Well done.
Thank you.
So, well, thanks for submitting, everybody. It's always nice to see your pictures and your work, and of course, your approach to it. To me, and that's the big part is the approach that you take to create what you're creating. So, it's really good to see, and plus the variety. All of you is really from one place to another, which is really cool. I know from Gilles with his black and white, and the good job, by the way, on the poem that you wrote. Did you write that? Yeah, good. Well done. And so it really sets the mood, sets the tone. And of course, all the way from that to, Lila with water and the connection that you have with your home. And, so I really, it's good to see that. So keep doing it. I want to see more
Definitely.
pictures.
And I also really like the Lisa's daisies. Was it Lisa?
Oh, I forgot, Lisa. I forgot you. Sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies.
It's okay. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna mention something because I didn't
Well, I'm
forget.
glad you
It was
did.
really
Oh,
it was really nice to see because it was like the perspective of the flower, and you had said that this land had all been bulldozed, so you really captured like the perspective of that, and seeing like some of them were closer, but some of them were vast, so you could see that there was multiple. And no, I really like that.
well done,
Thank you.
Lisa. Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
And the idea that, is it bulldozed yet?
Yep, they're gone.
So they're all gone. So from 1 minute, this beautiful scenery and this peacefulness, and then gone.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
that, huh?
Just like that.
Wow. That's amazing. So there's a message there. So good stuff. And my apologies because I'm just seeing little squares there. So I kind of
okay.
forgot. So all right. So I guess we're moving on to part 2. Is it me,
Yeah,
Karen?
it is you.
It is me.
Excuse
Oh.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we move to part 2, I would like to talk about that end of the year assignment.
Not
I've been
allowed
thinking about
because
it.
we're not at the end of the year yet.
Well,
Just kidding. Just
I've been
kidding.
thinking about it
Okay.
just about every day, and I don't have a clue what I'm going to do or what I have to do. And I wonder if I'm the only one or there's other people like me there. Because
It's a hard one, huh?
yep.
And I'm glad that you're thinking about it, actually. That's
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing,
So-
Lisa.
Yep, thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a plan,
I'm-
but yeah.
I mean, keep in mind that this presentation is going to help you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did one presentation already on dreams
Yeah.
Yeah.
earlier this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And this one will help kind of refresh and hopefully put some more ideas in your mind. And I know Modis is going to talk about it a lot more than. But did you have something specific that you want to know, like that you're having trouble blocking with, or is it just?
Well, it's a
No.
hard subject.
It is, really.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about different things, but I can't just put my mind on one. And how, if I put my mind on one, what kind of picture I'm going to come up with? That's
Right.
You don't
I'm
know
just-
till you try.
yeah.
But
Okay.
hopefully we can do our job tonight and help you out
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
So we'll see from
Great.
there. But and that's the same thing. Send us emails. We're happy to talk. We're happy to try to help you
Yeah.
out. And just to see, but it's a hard subject. Even me preparing this presentation for you, I had a real hard time. I had a real hard time with it. What?
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're also submitting 10 photos, aren't we? So can't you you can kind of have fun with it in that
That's-
way. You don't have
that's
you don't
right.
have to drill down to one idea.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
It could be 10 totally different pictures that you think fall under dreams, right?
Right. But it's a whole also, like a lot of people, like when you think of like dreams and things like that, a lot of people maybe associate it because dreams can be so weird.
Mhm.
That can be maybe associated with abstract and funky stuff and camera movement and all, not necessarily. So that's what I'm hoping I can transmit tonight, because it's not all artsy fartsy stuff that I'm sharing with you tonight. So and we'll see. So maybe afterwards we can have a little discussion and just kind of see if this kind of got the creative juices going, and hopefully they will. So maybe afterwards we can have a little chat. Okay? Is that all right?
Mhm.
Thank you, Jean-Guy. I'm glad you said that because I knew, Karen and I, when we picked that it was going to be a real heavy challenge. you know, but we figured, Jongi, you can handle it. You know? All right. So is it me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going. All right. Well, Jongi said it perfectly. I was going to say it too. It's a really hard topic because dreams, kind of photographing a subject themed or based on dreams is not an easy thing. So I'm just going to start showing slides, and there's a few things I'll say from it, and we'll certainly go from there. So let me know, Karen, if the transitions are going okay. You're seeing the full screen?
Yes.
Yep. Looks good.
Still seeing the full screen?
Yep.
All right. So I chose a title tonight to share with you called In Praise of Dreams, the interplay of your dreams and your art. I've been writing a bunch of little quotes and a few little things probably for about a year now when I started thinking about dreams, because last year, actually around this time, I was part of a workshop called Inscape where it was all about understanding and figuring out your dreams and kind of creating around that. And that's actually where I met Lynn, who was there with me that week, and Shuen from Japan. She was there also. So the three of us kind of met there for the very first time. And I'm pleased to say that I feel we really connected, the three of us, at that meeting. I hope you feel the same way, Lynn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we did. It was a cool thing. But since then, I certainly been seeing or feeling or trying to understand dreams in a very different manner. And I don't want to sound corny, and I don't want to sound, like, but it is a strange thing, dreams. And I'm going to ask all of you, how often have you personally, one time or another, said to your spouse, to your friend, to your coworkers, your colleagues, "Man, did I ever have a weird dream last night?" I think
Oh,
we've
yeah.
all, well, I think we've all done that, right? Okay. As a matter of fact, I did the same thing Friday. uh, I had a dream that was so bizarre, and it was about a person. The whole thing was about a person that in the dream, it was not her whatsoever, period. It was completely left field. And I was trying to figure out, why did I dream of her being so weird and so outrageous and so different than who she really is? Not the same person whatsoever. But come to find out, or in my interpretation, that dream was not about that person. The dream was about my friend. And we were in a workshop who actually was in Fogo Island, but Fogo Island was in Cuba. Here we go again, right? And we were talking and all that stuff. But come to find out, in my own interpretation of the dream, we were hanging out, and it was my connection to him, to my friend, the respect I have for him, love hanging out with him, really cool guy. We really had a good time. We both love photography and we both love nature. The dream was about that. The wife was just a distraction. So that's where I find dreams are very weird. Okay. And if you try to remember, and again, here we go again, I'm bouncing a little bit there, but if you think of your dreams, or if you, most of the time, you don't even think of them, because the minute you open your eyes, you think of your day, or you think of turning off the alarm clock, and you forget about your dream. It's a whole process to try to remember them. And all of your dreams, which I'll touch upon tonight, there are messages, there's symbols, there's things. If you just take a minute to figure it out, and most of the time you can't. These photographs are just that. I'm not going to describe all of them, but of course, the one on the left is from my Watercolor in the Rain project. The one on the bottom right is through my airport projects that I love to do. And it just takes me to a whole different place of photographing and being and all that stuff and figuring things out for myself. But the one on top, the top right, which I've never really shown, is a special one because that actually comes from a dream. And that photograph was made in Hamilton. I was at the library. That's the library in Hamilton. And since I was very close to my mother, this comes back to my mother, but I always feel she's watching over me. And this is kind of what this photograph represents. The young guy with the hat is kind of represented to me by me when I was young or younger, and always having the watchful, protective eye of my mother pretty much everywhere as I went without her interfering in what I was doing. She never interfered in what I did, but she was always there to give me that push to encourage me to keep doing what I did. So that is what that photograph represents for me. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. We all have our different way of seeing things or feeling things. I found a quote when I was doing my research from a French philosopher, historian of ideas, writer, political activist, and literacy critic, Paul-Michel Foucault, who once said, "Every act of imagination points implicitly to the dream. The dream is the first condition of its possibility." And I think that is very powerful for a quote. It kind of says it all. So I ask you, what is a dream? Okay. In this series of thoughts, what is a dream? It's a series of thoughts, imageries, sensations, and emotions that occur in the mind during sleep. Dreams can range from a vivid and coherent narrative to fragmented and surreal experiences. Here we go. But also a dream often will reflect a person's subconscious desires, fears, likes or dislikes, and or memories, right? So there's a whole connection with all this stuff. And I'm realizing through the years, even these photographs are probably 25, 30 years old, and experimenting with film back in the day, putting nylons in front of the lens. But all of a sudden, I'm starting to see that there was something in there for me again that had to do with something that happened maybe subconsciously in a past dream or something like that, because they are connected. Your approach to your creativity is connected. Not always, and not maybe the majority of the whole thing, but there is a connection to what you've dreamt about in the past. And there's the whole thing with my interpretation, if you will, of what a dream is. But just to give you an example on how the importance of dreams and how they shaped, and I could go on with examples like this for a real long time. It's pretty amazing. For an example, number one, of course, Salvador Dali. Persistence of memory is that painting. Salvador Dali even describes his painting as hand-painted dream photographs. Now, if there's any artist on the planet that can, I think, recreate his dreams, it's him. I think he's the only one that can do it on that level because his paintings are funky. They're sometimes can't even figure them out, but they're based on him. The second one, we all know of the Beatles, of course, and we all know of the Beatles song, famous classic song, Yesterday. It came to that song came to Paul McCartney in a dream. And Paul McCartney recalls, quote, "I woke up one morning with a tune in my head and a thought. And no, a tune in my head and thought, hey, I don't know this tune. Or do I? It was like jazz, like a jazz melody. I went to the piano, found the chords to it, made sure I remembered it, and then hawked it around to all my friends, asking what it was. Do you know this? Is it a good little tune? But I couldn't have written the tune because I dreamt it, unquote. So, and that song is now one of the, it's a classic song. Oops, sorry about that. Hang on, my apologies. Number 3, Elias Howe sewing machine. The lock stitch sewing machine, made in 1845, also came to the American inventor Elias Howe through a violent nightmare where he was stabbed with spears with holes in the tip, which he incorporated into making a successful sewing machine. And here we go. A sewing machine is something today that is part of our lives. Like, we take it for granted. It's a sewing machine. We grew up with our grandmothers having them, our mothers, or whatever, and don't even give it a thought. But to think that that machine, or the concept of the machine, putting the thread into the tip of the needle, came from a nightmare that Elias Howe had. Pretty powerful. To me, pretty impressive too. Number 4, excuse me, Richard Bach's novella, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I read that book in probably late 70s, early 80s. I read it like 5-6 times. It's a wonderful little book. It's not big. It's just a wonderful, wonderful book. In 1959, Bach, an avid aviator, heard what he called a disembodied voice, whispered the title of his novella into his ear. So he heard Jonathan Livingston Seagull. He heard the title. He wrote the first few chapters, but took him 8 years and a dream about the titular seagull to complete the work that became one of the most profound and philosophically moving novellas ever written. Bach is quoted as saying, "You are never given the dream without being given the power to make it accurate." That's pretty cool. However, you may have to work for it. And there's the thing, and there's the theme that we have, because it's not an easy theme to produce. We all heard of this little thing called Google. At 22, Larry Page was unreasonably afraid that he mistakenly got accepted at Stanford University. This triggered an anxious dream that he managed to download the whole web onto some old computers and keep the links. On awakening, he instantly grabbed a pen and jotted down everything based on which the algorithm was formed. Using this algorithm, he created a new web search engine, Google, which is famously known as that, Google. Not even a word. It is unimaginable how our lives would be different today if Page hadn't dreamt of this that night. So that to me is pretty powerful stuff, because it's all legendary. It's all amazing creations, artistic or innovative, that literally changed our world, changed us, and entertained us, made our lives easier, etc., took us to dreamland or took us to other places, from Richard Bach's Jonathan Livingston Seagull, all from dreams. So I think there's something to be said here, and I think there's something to tap into, to start understanding. And again, I'm not saying that you have to recreate your dreams. Just be aware of what they're saying to you. All right. This, by the way, is in Fogo Island, and you can find inner peace and unleash your creativity by reflecting on your dreams and aspirations. Dedication, patience, and a sincere passion for your creative goals are all you need to embark on this continuous journey. Keep an open heart and mind and embrace the process. And we were there. This is the backyard of where we stay, and just hanging out, having a glass of wine, looking at the sunset. And if you notice this little line here, this little part of an island, it's right there. Oh, I don't think you can. Hang on a sec. I don't have my pointer on. Might work better. This little island right here is right there. It's right there. So I was creating these photographs with the sky, just kind of flipping out, beautiful, peaceful thing. And it puts you in another dream state. And very peaceful. And that's my buddy Sam. And we're just there hanging out, watching the sun go down. So don't be afraid to embrace the process by keeping an open heart and an open mind on how something as pretty as a sunset can make you feel. That's Fogo Island also. Art is the dream made tangible, and dreams are the art of the subconscious mind. And just tap into what you're feeling, what you're looking at, but also the symbolisms. And I'm going to try to give you a few tonight of what makes you see, what makes you approach, what makes you document the subject personally to just you. I was there with a couple of people, and we all did these pictures completely differently. We've all said that before also in the past. Like we could all be in the same place together, in the same, doing the same project. But look at the time we did that parking lot thing. We were all in the parking lot for minimalism. It was, to me, it was a very interesting thing because we were all in the same place, all confined to the superficie of the parking lot, but we all came out with completely different images, all of us. And why? Well, one of the reasons I should say, is because we all have different experiences, different ways of connecting with things, different ways of seeing things, and different ways of approaching different things. So it really takes you to another place, and that's the fun part of being able to tap in. Dreams are the canvas upon which the mind paints its most vivid visions, and from those dreams, creativity springs forward with limitless inspiration. This is a photo I made years ago at Freeman's Place with a friend, and it didn't turn out, I didn't start out that way, but it finished that way, and it's part of a project, as you all heard me say before, towards silence. And that was something that I started kind of thinking, because I had a dream about silence, but I did have, my mother was blind, as all of you know, but in this particular dream, my mother was deaf instead of being blind. And why? I don't have a clue. I don't know. I can't explain it. And so it kind of triggered for me to kind of do, and I've been working on these photographs and creating some of these photographs for probably now the last 5-6 years. I have a whole bunch of them. Maybe one day they'll become part of an exhibit. I don't know yet. But it's just something that I do once in a while based on something that happened to me in a dream 5-6 years ago, based on my mother again. See, here we go. There's the symbol or the connection. In this case, for my case, it's my mother, right? As we rest, our minds conjure sensations, feelings, and ideas through our dreams. These experiences can range from the mundane to the magnificent, and they're frequently surreal or abstract. Abstraction is an essential aspect of artistic expression, beginning with a logical foundation and then streamlining complex information by removing excess details. Abstraction enables us to comprehend difficult concepts and knowledge while emphasizing our emotional perspective. These two photographs are exactly the same thing. Same tree, same time, same place, same everything. Okay. And I was actually, after I did this, most of you, I think, heard Freeman speak about his liver transplant and the photos he did in Israel. About the fabric place that he was in, very abstract. And in 10 photographs, it told the whole journey from him becoming sick to him healing. Not that I wasn't trying to copy Freeman here. I just did it because that was around the same time that I got my phone call that I was sick. And I was driving somewhere, it's kind of in a daze, all puzzled and kind of freaked out because it felt like I got hit with a sledgehammer on the forehead when I got that call. And I stopped. This is at the L'Université de Moncton, and it's in the field there next to l'Édifice La France. and there's full of trees. It's a beautiful little park, by the way. And I was going to stop there to just walk in there for a few minutes, and I ended up staying there for 3 hours, photographing a bunch of trees. But because I was in kind of my dazed type of state of shock, in a sense, not understanding what was happening to me or even wanting to accept what was happening to me, I started kind of making the tree fuzzy. The photo on the left is a 4 multiple exposure photograph, and just want and stayed at the same place. So just click, 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 4 shots, and just kind of moving the camera a little bit. So it gave me that feel, that look of fuzziness that I was feeling. Now, if you notice these 2 openings between the branches or the tree trunks right here, well, they're right here. Okay, so then all of a sudden, as I'm going along with these photographs or this subject, I started using camera movement and blurring the scene or how I was feeling, because the whole thing, as I started processing it, was a blur. So at the time, this was not a dream. This became a dream in a sense, or understanding of it, as I was recuperating. And because I was on heavy medication, I was all buzzed out and I didn't know where I was half the time. And all this started to make sense to me. This is how I felt, these photographs, just like Freeman. And as we rest, our mind comes out of feelings and ideas through our dreams. These experiences can range from mundane. I already said that. Sorry, that's part of my. I'm repeating my notes. But that's kind of how this was, right? So it really goes a long way, and even and part of the work process or the body of work process is giving yourself assignments. I started this assignment for me called Russ Never Sleeps. I think I started that process or to create this project or body of work around year 2000, 2002. I was really attracted to this type of work, to this type of subject, and to really be part of it. And I still do it today. To this day, I still do it. Yes, from that project, I did, I think, 2, maybe 3 exhibits from it. But I'm still creating some whenever I have the chance. So it's a never-ending process. And believe it or not, as I'm doing these photographs, I didn't realize what the connection was for me to being attracted to it. And it's not a trend thing. I don't follow trends. I don't follow what other people are doing. I don't care about that. I have to create and do what I do, for better or worse. But as we went along, I'm fascinated, and I'm a big fan of cars, and I like the design of them, especially the 50s and 60s, 40s, whatever, and the whole car culture. And all of a sudden, because I dream of cars, I dream of driving hot rods and racing, and I used to build my own race cars when I was young and all of that stuff. So all of a sudden, how do I bring something that I really appreciate or like into dreaming about me driving certain cars or being part of certain car cultures and things like that, to what I do, which is photography and hopefully artistic photography? Well, there it is. So these are all photos of rusted cars. So that's my connection to the car, where I feel comfortable. And it all came to me once in a while dreaming about me being in different situations with cars. And sometimes they're the weirdest thing, like the dream I just described to you about earlier, about my friend not being her at all. And just weird, but it had nothing to do with her. It had to do with my other friend, the connection that we have. So here we go again. And this is what I mean about tapping into your dreams. I never would have figured this out if I wouldn't have given it some thought and going back and looking through some of my work. That particular project became another project called Urban Decay. These are trains. These are all trains, abandoned, rusted old trains, boxcars and stuff like that. Just fun to go hang out with. The detail, the graphics of the decaying is really cool, and it's connected to Rust Never Sleeps. And remember that the creative process is highly personal. It only has to do with you, nobody else. Your goal is not to replicate your dreams. Don't try to do that. You'll never do it unless you're Salvador Dali. It's not to replicate your dreams exactly, but to use them as a springboard for your artistic expression. Interpreting, interpreter, dreams is subjective and depends on personal experiences, cultural beliefs, and emotional association with symbols and colors. Context, emotions, and beliefs are all important factors to consider to accurately interpret your dreams, or the connection to your dreams to your art. So to hopefully, Jean-Guy, to come back to your question, I don't try to do a body of work or to create some photographs based on how do I create a dream. I use my photos to interpret the personal side of something that I dreamt about. Could be yesterday, could be 10 years ago. I'm hoping the dream that I just told you about my friend, Fogo Island, I'm hoping to create something very special there based on that dream that I had. Our artistic expression originates from the vastness of our consciousness, providing us with a refuge to pause the daily grind and explore our creativity. Within this realm, our imagination can run wild, and we can bring something unique and visually appealing to life. It is a place where we can experiment, play with our ideas, and express ourselves freely, without limitations or fear of judgment. And I think that's a big one. A lot of us, and we want to put something on Facebook, let's say we look for those likes, right? Don't fall into the wanting to be judged positively. Just don't fear judgment. Therefore, let us embrace this mindset, the birthplace of art, and explore the realms of our dreams. And it's really interesting what you can end up seeing and also end up creating, right? These two photographs are actually from a dream. For those of you from New Brunswick would probably remember not that long ago, there was some tension between the Acadians and the natives, Aboriginals, around Tracadie in that area. And it was about fishing, and there was a lot of turmoil, a lot of fighting, and they were burning buildings, burning boats, etc., etc. And there was a lot of bad stuff going on. And around that time, I was hired by the First Nations in Ottawa group. It's called the AFN. And in Ottawa, they were having their annual convention of all the Native people, chiefs from all across Canada. And I was hired to document the convention. And it was around that same time. And then all of a sudden, I started having these dreams that people were setting people on fire. And it was a nightmare. And while I was doing that convention, they had a lot of people dancing, a lot of people doing different things. They had all kinds of visual projects and music and all kinds of different things, artwork, etc. And I started, these are people dancing, and I just started combining and doing different things and multiple exposures, as you can see in camera movement. Because what I was trying to do is to interpret the connection between art, creativity, and of course, dreams. Art and creativity are closely intertwined as they mutually stimulate each other in a continuous cycle of inspiration. Dreams play a significant role in shaping our artistic abilities and creative pursuits, as they have the power to delve into the depths of our subconscious mind. And here we go again. So I never would have thought that creating these photographs would come from something that scared me before I started making these photographs. But I never would have made these photographs if I wouldn't have been hired to be part of the First Nations convention. So that was a trigger. Some people experience dreams without color. This is an actual thing, by the way. I dream in black and white sometimes. Dream in without color or limited color perception. This phenomenon is actually called dreaming in black and white. Pretty straightforward, if you ask me. Even though it has been studied for a while, the reason behind it still needs to be fully understood and remain a topic of ongoing research and debate among psychologists and neuroscientists. I don't know if this is part of the reason why I love black and white so much. I'm a big fan of black and white, but this could be it because sometimes I do. Now, this photograph is actually the site of where the Swiss air flight, remember the Swiss air flight that I think it's Flight 111 that's crashed in Peggy's Cove? That is exactly, I'm looking right where the plane crashed. It was one of the fathers of the son that was on the plane, and he had longitude, latitude, and all that stuff, and he pointed to me where it was. And but I didn't see that photograph that way. I made it that way by underexposing and creating this dark feel to it. The sky is black, the highlight of the water, where's the strip where the plane crashed. And then, of course, the dark water where it sank. So it came from the whole issue of the plane crash came from the sky where the engines caught on fire and the smoke went into the cab or the cabin, and it came from darkness. So the sky just came into total darkness, and then it crashed into the ocean and then went back into darkness from below the ocean. So I start thinking that way when it comes to being in certain places that hit you emotionally. Because I was part of when they were doing all the rescues and stuff. I had my studio in Dieppe, and I was part of hooked up with a guy that was a news photographer, and I went with him for a bit to photograph. It was a really powerful time. It's so that's where we go again. And coming back to black and white, as I mentioned, I'm a big fan of black and white. I love contrast, and what I love about black and white is the harshness and the, I'm not going to say abruptness, but the directness of contrast. Like in this photograph here, it's a shadow of a person walking amongst window shades and things like that, to the softness and the gentleness and the contemplative side of black and white photography by removing color and simply having hands. Can't have much of a simpler photograph than that, right? And also, sometimes I never know how I'm going to end up photographing in black and white. This is a workshop that I did in Alaska. And I'm not one to do a lot of research when I travel about the place that I'm going because it screws me up. Because when I get there, it's not quite what I have anticipated. I don't like to anticipate everything. Yes, I search and I have an idea of where I'm going, but I want to feel where I'm going. And for me to go to Alaska to do a workshop, 7-day workshop, my study was Ansel Adams, because I knew I was going to be amongst great mountains. And this is something else that I dream about, flying over mountains. For some reason, I see a lot of mountains in my dreams. The dream that I had just the other day that I shared, we were in Cuba, we were in Fogo Island, but a lot of my visuals in the dream were overheads, and we're just looking at all these mountains from all over the place. So going to Alaska, based on sometimes dreaming in black and white and being touched by mountains, I studied Ansel Adams, which is one of the icons of photography for landscape and mountains, things like that. And I knew I didn't plan on going there photographing black and white. I just knew that I was going to photograph in black and white. So, and then I did a whole project strictly, and most of my photos in Alaska are in black and white. And even my friends that were there with me were going like, "What are you doing? Like, look at those colors and look at how beautiful that is." And I said, "Yeah, it really is, but I'm feeling it this way." And for me, photography is a fascinating art form that offers endless possibilities for artistic expression. That was based on me. The people next to me or with me did it their way. It was based on them. Opting for black and white can really create a timeless and delicate atmosphere that draws viewers in. It can highlight the interplay between light and shadow, evoking a sense of stillness and self-analysis. And here we go again. When I photograph black and white and I analyze and look at my photos and I see in black and white, I start analyzing myself. This thing with the mountains, this thing with dreaming about them, and this thing in tapping into Ansel Adams was just that. Don't hesitate to explore the dreamlike qualities of black and white photography. It's just a great project, get you to see in a different way. Dreams can be a rich source of inspiration for the creative process. Artists often draw from their dreams to explore themes, emotions, and symbolisms. And boy, oh boy, there's the key word, I think, when it comes to dreams, symbolism. They all have symbols. You can dream about a nature scene and the sky is pink and the stars are green and there's a giraffe jumping from star to star. It has nothing to do with the stars, the sky, or the giraffe, but all of it has to do with symbolisms. And there's a message. What is it? Who knows? And that's why I say, how often have you been to your friends, to your colleagues, to your spouse, to whatever, and say, boy, did I have a weird dream last night. Well, if you start seeing giraffes jumping on green stars in the pink sky, that's a weird dream, right? So dream interpretations is a complex and personal, and it's complex and personal. The meaning of a dream depends on your experiences, emotions, and circumstances. For example, consider your feelings and associations with colors. Jean-Guy, here's another project, okay? And if you wish, keep a dream journal. It's really amazing. Since I did the Inkscape workshop with Lynn and Schwen, with Marjorie Ney and Freeman, it's not that I keep a journal, is I've been writing pretty much everything I'm telling you tonight for about a year now. I'm still writing. I'm still doing I wrote little quotes. I invented my own little quotes. I do little things like that. So I just once in a while, I'll be driving somewheres, and I don't suggest that you write and drive. That's even worse than texting and driving. But I have my little phone recorder and I'll just hit record and I'll say something weird that reflects my dreams. And that's part of my airport project. And there's a whole other thing there because when I was younger, I had a fear of flying. Planes kind of scared me a little bit, and I'm still leery and weary of going into planes, but I love flying. But I still have that weird feeling of when I'm inside a plane. There's just this weird little feeling that I get. And that's why I do all these weird visual projects when I'm in airports. Every airport that I've been into, I've created something in the airport. Dream interpretation is just that. It just makes me think of weird things to do, maybe, but they have a meaning for me. Speaking of colors, most of you seen these photographs. They're the Blue Vase project that I did when I lost my mother, and it's a very personal project. It's a project that I shot one photo every single day for 30 days. I do that once in a while. Some of you saw my telephone pole one or the door one. I give myself these projects once in a while, at least once a year, and I pick a month, and every single day, no matter what, rain or shine, or if I'm inside in this case, I photograph and make one photograph. And I have all these different dreams, and I still dream of my parents quite often, actually. And they're very surreal. They're very different. And my parents, especially my father, was extremely artistic. He was a theater person and a sign painter. So then I see him one day driving a Harley Davidson. It doesn't fit because in the 60s, my father didn't even want to own a car because it was bad for the environment. And here he is on a big Harley Davidson. Doesn't fit. But there's a reason for it. There's a symbol behind it. Okay. Dreaming of the color blue, for an example, can represent different things, such as calmness and serenity, communication and expression, intellect and wisdom, emotional healing, spirituality and intuition, depression or sadness, and or harmony and balance. Blue happens to be one of my favorite colors. And I've never realized until I started going through a lot of my pictures dating back 40 years that I have a lot of photos in blue. It's really weird, and I never planned it. But this is a personal project, and it was all based on, well, of course, the loss of my mother, dealing with that, but also dreaming of her with my father. Green symbolizes growth, renewal, harmony, balance, healing, and nature. Dreaming of green could indicate personal growth, connection to nature, a desire for balance and harmony, a need for healing, envy, creativity, fertility, hope, and optimism. And again, when we're in nature, I am so much in peace with the color green. But it's just everything around you is so wonderful. And again, because I dream a lot about nature. So how do I connect that to what I saw in my dreams? And trust me, in my dreams, I don't see this. I see something very weird, very different. But it all has to do with the peacefulness of the whole thing. And nothing beats hanging out by yourself with a little plant. Okay. Nature's calming and rejuvenating effect unlocks our creativity, allowing us to explore fresh perspective and new ideas. The boundless forms and processes of the natural world inspires us to push beyond convention and discover new approaches to creative projects. And I just showed you green. Here's a little thing again with these photographs basically are red and green. Yes, the tree trunks are gray, and yes, there's a little bit of yellow into the flowers, but technically it's my approach to dreaming in color. The power of nature to inspire creativity is genuinely remarkable. Its breathtaking landscapes, intricate patterns, and vibrant colors offer endless inspiration for artistic expression. By dreaming of nature, or understanding your dreams about nature, or tapping into your dreams about nature, we can tap into its boundless potential, igniting our own imaginations and unleashing new ideas, visions, and also narratives. Dreaming of nature can inspire us to create work that reflects harmony, balance, and interconnectedness. This connection with nature infuses our creations and authority and authenticity and appreciation for the world. I remember way back when I started photographing and I started being invited to do conferences in schools and things like that. And they would ask me for a little, bio or something like that. And back then, all I had was nature stuff. And what I would do is I would always say, if I can create pictures of nature that you like, hopefully it will encourage you to like nature and eventually love it. And as humans, it is natural for us to want to protect what we love. So hopefully through my photographs, you will love nature. And if I can accomplish that, I've done my job in promoting care, appreciation, and respect for nature. Dreaming of nature, and it can be as simple as a sunset. Like you can't get much simpler of a photograph than these two photographs right here. They're just snapshots, no big deal. Done from my parking lot, and but all of a sudden, when we dream of this, I dream a lot about nature because I'm comfortable in it. But you don't always have to keep it straightforward. You can start playing a little bit. You can have a lot of fun. That's the Pitikuriak River, by the way. Mm-hmm. The importance of personal connection and dream interpretation. Consider your perspective when exploring the symbolism and interpretation of your art dreams. Your experience, emotion, influence. I think I may have said this before. Your symbol means you may differ from, sorry, I got totally lost here. My apologies. Your experience and emotions influence them. and what a symbol means to you may differ from conventional interpretation. Trust your feelings and associations for a deeper understanding. And again, coming back to dreaming about nature, here I approach, everybody saw this lighthouse is in Parsbro, but my interest, although I gave you what the lighthouse looks like, if you see this part here, you can see the clouds, the opening type of idea, the mountain, the water, there's the mountain, there's the opening, there's the water, there's the clouds. So I just wanted to take it to another step to turn a simple scene that we look at more into an abstract type of look. And that here we go again, coming back with the blue, right? Numerous artists through history have credited how dreams influence our artistic creativity. Numerous artists throughout history have credited their creative breakthrough to dreams. Dreaming can offer unforeseen concepts, new viewpoints, and invite inventive solutions to artistic obstacles. Here we go, Jean-Guy, overcoming your obstacles. By delving into the unconscious during dream states, artists can tap into a vast source of inspiration that may be inaccessible in their waking state. This is another airport project. The one on the left is that. The one on the right is right here, but it's all part of my Tourist Silence project. This photograph and these ones are part of all that. But on the same token, it's all part of that particular state of dream. State of dream. There's the key, right? Tourist silence. All because I dreamt that my mother was deaf instead of being blind. And I started working on that way. Why do I do that? I don't know, right? But here we go again. It doesn't all have to be artsy-fartsy or abstract or anything like that. It can be simple movement or minimalistic photographs that can relate to what you're dreaming of or you're feeling or you're thinking of. Don't be afraid to explore it. Let your dreams be the canvas of your imagination, and let your art be the brushstrokes of possibilities. And same thing here. I think I spent about an hour taking a break from a workshop I was doing, and I just needed to get away by myself for a little bit to collect my thoughts and to use my camera. And all that is I was sitting on a wharf. My feet are dangling, not in the water, but almost in it. And I just took a zoom lens and created a body of work of water moving in front of me. That's it. Nothing major. Have you ever had the peculiar sensation of déjà vu? We've all experienced that. It's an intriguing and eerie, actually at times, phenomenon that can make you feel like you've already experienced a current event before. Even though it's happening for the very first time, it's like a fleeting glance into the past, which can engender a sense of familiarity in the present moment. This is a workshop that Karen and I did in Montreal, and we were in the metro, and I did not want to leave. As a matter of fact, I think soon, once I'm done my project with Radio-Canada, I'm going to go spend a few days in Montreal, and I think I'm just going to spend 4 days in the metro. That's it, because I have an idea of something I want to create, and it's all based on déjà vu. And yes, I lived in Montreal before, but there's something else happening here. When I see all these things, it's really bizarre what starts to happen to me with these things, and I start seeing things within the photograph that I don't see at the time. But I will be going to play because I need, and I'm compelled to go do it. And that will probably become a show for me at a later date, but I need to spend a lot of time there to just experience déjà vu, which is part of a dream. Déjà vu. Dreams are like canvases upon where the mind paints its most vivid visions, and from those dreams, creativity springs forward with limitless inspiration. And finally, Dreams are the wandering thoughts of your minds, and they showcase your imagination's boundlessness. Within the realm of dreams, our souls whisper to us. We surpass the limits of reality and sprout ideas that shape our world, making them the seeds of innovation. In dreams, we converse with our deepest desires and dance with the stars, igniting the sparks of creativity. Every dream is a stroke of brilliance, adding vibrant hues to our minds, tapestry of illusions, of illustrations and notions. They remind us of the uniqueness of our existence. Keep an open heart and mind and embrace the process, as I mentioned before. So hopefully this will help you tap into how you feel about things through your dreams. And thanks for watching. So there. So what we're going to do, I think, Karen, do you just want to keep on going and we'll have questions for everything after and a little discussion after? Or do you
Sure,
wanna
that
do-
works.
wanna
Yeah.
do
Or
that
if
now?
anybody has something specific that
Yeah,
wants
unless somebody, now
your
that we're on it.
presentation.
Yes, I just want to say, Maurice, that it was a really nice presentation, and
Thank
you
you.
brought me back to last year at the
Inscape.
yes, yeah, and
All
it
right.
was a really good place to be. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. And I'm glad. I was actually, I was nervous to do this in front of you and Schwen. Schwen couldn't make it today, but
Why?
I don't know. It's the weirdness. That's me. We're insecure, aren't we?
Oh my gosh. Well, you did a very good job, and you brought me there. So
Okay,
it,
good.
that
Good.
was awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
Could we get the link so we could, I would like to listen to it a few times.
Sure. Yep. What I'm going to do is I'll put it on YouTube. And it's
Yeah.
going to take a day or so because it takes over a long time to process.
Yeah,
And I'll send you the link.
great.
And don't hesitate if you have any questions. Like we're here to help. Both Karen and I are here to help you. And
It won't
hopefully
be
this will go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna add, it's not gonna be a permanent thing. So like
No,
it may be there for like maybe a couple weeks or 30 days or so, and then we would
not
remove
that
it. It's
long.
not something that'll be okay, not that long. Okay.
No.
Well, whatever Modis decides.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like a permanent link for you to go and watch it
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
So just make sure that you when you get the link from Modis to take advantage of it right away.
Could you put it on
It's
the ArtQuest members site?
No, no,
Oh, okay.
no.
But you could put the YouTube link for them there on
Yes.
on their members.
No,
Yes.
that's yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah, I'll put the link for members only.
Yeah.
If you want to see it. And of course, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate. We're here to help out. Anybody else? We're okay? We're cool? Thanks for watching.
Well,
Okay,
so
Karen, the floor is
take
yours.
it away, huh? Okay, well, mine is going to be rather quick. However, what is went really in depth in the presentation on exactly what dreams are. I'm just going to do like a recap. A lot of the things that I believe in, Modis has talked about, so it's very relevant. So I wanted to make sure that he went first, so that I'm not rambling on about random things that didn't make any sense, because I knew that
She
he was
lets
going to
me
explain it
ramble
very
on.
well. It's all good. So, lately for me, I've been having a lot of like vivid dreams, and over the years, like it came and gone, but I would write down what I wake up and I write down what I dreamt, or I would tell somebody right away. So and that is just a little bit of a better way to remember, because if you just go on with your day and you don't think about it, write about it, or talk about it, you'll forget. So often, like me and my husband were like, oh, do you know what I dreamt last night? Like that was totally weird. And we just talk like, so it's out there, and or I'll write something about it just quickly, a few notes so I don't forget. And what happens is that I'm not creating based on what that dream or what happened in that dream. What's happening is that I'm subconsciously tapping into certain aspects, like, oh, you know what, that was familiar. Or what is mentioned, like a deja vu. Well, that often happens that I'm like, oh, I feel like I've been here before, or I feel like I've been inspired by this before, and like I've never photographed it, or I'm in a complete different country. And I truly believe that it's either probably something that I've dreamt or something that I'm inspired by a dream. And sometimes we don't always remember, but if you really get yourself into that state, it really can help your creative juices for sure. So the images that I'm going to show you has been a body of work that I've been working on for quite some time. And it's not a specific dream of sorts, but it's something that's been reoccurring in a lot of my dreams or a lot of my daily life, and I'm often attracted to it. And sometimes you don't know why. Like, okay, I can say, yeah, it's perhaps it's my favorite color, but like, why is it? Why is it that like I'm dreaming and with these, often these things are always in that color? Or like if I'm walking around, that's the first thing I see. These are all subliminal messages that we really need to tap into and realize that they're there for a reason. And if you really get deep, you can use that as a creative tool. I also believe that your dreams are just like an empty canvas. So we often tell, and Melissa talked about the assignments that we give each other. So I give myself some assignments, and they're very simple, nothing overly complicated. I mean, Melissa is sometimes a lot more complicated with his assignments, but I often go very simple and just work on something for a long periods of time. And it allows your mind to subconsciously be able to be creative and paint. Like you're using basically your imagination to be able to share what you're feeling without knowing, really. So I'm doing this presentation on the color blue. It's a color that obviously that speaks very loudly to me, and has for years, and that when you do some research on it, it has multiple significances, whether in your dreams or in personal life, or as a color in general. So I'm going to share this with all of you, and so just tell me if everything works all right.
Don't forget to click the two things there.
Right, thank you. Yes. And I know Modest talked a little bit about deja vu in his presentation, but I often feel that and lose myself in photography and go into like this dreamlike state when I'm creating. And I know we talked about this on numerous occasions, but it definitely helps. So when you get lost or when you don't know what to do, just stay uncomfortable. And I know I say this all the time, but as soon as you get uncomfortable with what you're photographing, then all of a sudden things are just going to appear. Things are going to get more creative, and you've passed that boundary. And then all of a sudden you get lost. Time has flown by, and everything is like a dream. So I click the things. We should be good. What is you tell me if
It's good.
okay?
Yep. Transitions are great.
Thanks. what I also forgot to mention that one of the biggest things that I do while I photograph is I question myself on why. I'm always asking, why did I stop here? Why do I even like this photo? Why do I like this color? What am I doing here? Like and then when you start really questioning yourself, then there's always a reason. Like there's something that was attracted me to that color, that water, that cloud, that what story am I trying to say? And I think that helps create the whole dreamlike experience as well.
Well, it also goes beyond just saying that's pretty. Click.
Yeah.
Goes beyond that.
Yeah.
Right. And so good. Nice one, Karen. That was good.
Thank you.
So now we're putting the floor for discussion. If anybody has any questions, comments, or anything that we'd be happy to answer, or if you just want to talk about your dog, that's fine too. Or the wine that you're drinking, Amanda. There we go. There we go. So anyway,
I hope that we cleared up the questions and the doubt that you may have a little bit, and the we don't want to challenge you too much that you're scared of going out to photograph the assignment. Like it should be inspiring and not scary.
Jean-Guy ran away.
oh,
I don't know what that means.
go ahead, Laura. I think Lawrence. Okay, Barbara, you also okay?
I when we first started talking about this, about doing dreams, it's kind of not my thing to be that way. I think some of you know. But through both of your presentations, I've been making notes, and I'm going to give it a shot to do.
There we go.
To start from scratch, go out and try to do something. We'll see how it works out. But thanks for the inspiration.
There we go.
You'll see that both of our presentations, we didn't have, it wasn't all abstract. There was things that are in there that, were very clear what the subject was. So it doesn't have to be like totally, it could out of like the abnormal. It could be just what Lawrence would do.
Yeah. Barbara was next, and then we'll go to Lucy.
I just have a quick question, and I'm excusing myself in advance for not having looked at the handbook recently, but like the past few years about the photographer of the year, we would pick one photo. Now, what with the 10, we're going to do 10, and do we pick one of the 10, or is that the idea? We pick one after we do 10, or we send all 10? I can't imagine you
send 10.
Send 10? Okay, good. I like that idea because it covers what you've done a lot better than just trying to pick one.
Yeah,
no,
that's why this is
great.
I think this one needed to be that, and it's been inspired for those. Do you remember those of you? We did that little project. There was me, Ken, Jean-Guy, Kevin, and I forget who else. We did the wharf thing. We kind of want to do the wharf, deserted project.
Right. Yeah.
We kind of want to do the same thing and have people talk, because what we try to do, especially with this dream thing, this project is not about, I dreamt about cows, riding motorcycles. It's not that. It's the inspiration you received to create a certain amount of work, but also the dialogue or the writings that come with it. To me, that's very important. And Karen also, right? And so hopefully that's kind of where we're going with this. But 10 photographs, all of a sudden you have to, especially like somebody in your case, Barbara, you're very abstract and visual and all that stuff. So there has to be, I'm not saying that there has to be an explanation of it, but understanding where you're coming from changes the dynamic of what people are looking at, and plus connect not only to your work, but connect to you. Right. So that's
I understand. Like what I sent for the 5 was actually from 2 different project series. But I can see for this one, the 10 are the same umbrella
Right.
of exploration. No, I understand that. That's great.
Perfect. Thank you, Barbara. You see.
All right. I apologize for joining to the meeting tonight late. I just want to say kudos to you and Karen, because I'm a very logical person, and you guys, and one of my goals was to challenge the creativity side in me. In my work, I can be pretty creative, but in this way, not that much. And so you guys have really helped me, in the trip in Montreal, that really helped too a lot.
Good to
Yeah.
hear.
So with the dream concept, it took me a while to get my head around it. And since, I don't know, before Montreal, I had a clear, or it became clearer and clearer, but I have a vision now what I want to do. But I just hope that I'll get to do it all. But throughout the summer, I've taken pictures and all of that and tonight has helped a lot with some of the pictures that I wasn't sure, but now it's confirmed that, yeah, I probably will add them in. So the presentation this summer, or now, both of yours, and all the conversation, I just want to say thank you for helping me meet my objective here, the logical sense, meet my objective with the creativity thing. So, but if I could have some time with one of you to help me, like with the writing stuff, I'm not sure what to expect or what I should do, and to kind of do that montage. But I think I could get there.
Yeah. We're certainly willing to help out. Like we're certainly willing to have conversations and help out and things like that. And I'm working on something. It'll be a little bit cool because now I'm tied up till November, but I'm making arrangements to Karen knows a little bit about it, but we'll talk further about taking you out to actually experience a project, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a little bit in left field too.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Sorry.
I don't think we put it that it was 10 photos in the handbook, but I think we added that randomly, like at the meeting that we talked about the dreams.
Yeah.
So maybe we should send out a revised copy.
Okay. Remind me.
Because we keep telling everybody to go to keep going to the handbook, but if it doesn't say 10.
So question.
I just looked.
Yep.
I've been taking photographs throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been necessarily seeing it as influenced by one dream. That's okay?
No, of course.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
However, because I am naturally a storyteller, I see it as probably in my case, I would be weaving this story.
Sure.
Yeah,
of course.
And
of course.
Realistically, as long as your artist statement comes together with all the 10 photos, it doesn't really matter what you submit to us, but this will be super important to go with the images, right?
Yep.
So they could be 10 photos, technically like totally left field, but if your artist statement really
puts them together,
then that works. But there has to be
a connection.
There has to be a flow there somewhere, or like an understanding for us. Okay. And that artist statement will help us understand what your thought process was, right?
Yeah. Is okay there, Lila?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. I wish we could hear you, Gilles, because you usually have something to say. And we'd like to hear what you have to say, but we can't, send it in an email. Or go on the ArtQuest thing and ask your question. It'll force us to answer. Sorry. So anything else? Anybody else has something that they'd like to offer or ask or say or whatever? No, it's a pretty quiet group tonight.
You know what? I know
Oh.
this is off topic, but I think I should add, because we only meet on the 18th, but the evening before, on the 17th, our cameras for this is not ArtQuest
Right.
related, but I figured I would let you all know because it could be interesting. Our Cameras for Healing project that
That's
just
right.
ended is having an exhibit at the Moncton Public Library for the month of October. And their vernissage / opening is on the 17th from 5 to 7. So if you're free and have nothing to do, I'm sure the ladies would love your support, and you can come see the amazing work that they've been working towards. So I'm just going to put that out there as a side note.
Good. I forgot about that. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah.
Lawrence.
Karen, do you want to send that to us in an email so as a reminder?
Sure. Let me write
My
this
only
down
other
here.
comment was I'm really anxious for Morris's studio to be all set up so that we can meet in person and get off of these Zooms.
I agree. I agree.
But the thing is, not everybody's here, so we have to.
We can still do Zoom, but we can have most of the people present.
Those that can attend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I've been working 2 months on building this darn thing. It's finally starting to look pretty good. The equipment is up, everything is up. And Thursday, my whole place is coming down. What I do kind of does renting my whole studio for the TV show. So here we go again. But in this case, I don't mind because it's all you.
Yeah.
Because it's all union dues. So anyway, so yeah, soon, very soon, and the next step, of course, will be the classroom. Gonna have a classroom in here.
Perfect.
So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anything?
Thanks, Lawrence.
For the meeting of October 18th, is there a photo evaluation we need to send, or?
It probably won't be on the 18th because I think we're going to do a guest speaker as what we would.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What we would like to do. So I think it'll be November. That'll be the
evaluation is November.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jean-Guy. I was just going by my memory, but I think next month is a guest speaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but start thinking. That's a good point. Start thinking of your photo that you want evaluated, and yeah.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right.
Well,
I think we're okay. I think everybody. Did we answer everything that you wanted to be answered? Like, are we okay there? Like, everybody all right? I'm just scanning the screen right now, looking at everybody. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up then.
Perfect.
Just want to say thanks to everybody, and for everybody, what I'll do is as soon as I turn off this presentation, the rendering of the recording is going to start happening, and that takes a few hours because it's a big file. And probably sometimes tomorrow or the next day, whenever I'm back from the set, I'll get it ready on YouTube, and that's another little thing, and then I'll add it. I'll add it to the members group ArtQuest. And
you could share the link with the password, Maurice. You don't have to put it onto YouTube if you didn't want to. It'll play from the cloud.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
It
know.
renders, it should tell you like the meeting, it should say the meeting link, and then it should give you a password, and you should just be able to share the link and the password, and people can access the recording.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's even
Oh,
better.
that's even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, thank you.
I don't think it's because we recorded anything in a while.
Yeah.
So it's probably part of the update.
Yeah.
But, oh, that's awesome.
All right. Okay, I want to thank our guest, Annette White, for joining us. Always a pleasure to see you. Looking forward to seeing and meeting the little one in person. And
Thank you. Thank you so much
yeah,
for inviting me.
yeah, no, it was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Right on. I hope you liked it anyway. So because I know you like arts and you're into that stuff. So, and actually, Annette is writing a book right now on the. Maybe you can explain what the book is.
Yeah, it's on. It's covers a period of over 300 years on Acadian women's clothing. So stay tuned.
Yeah, it's quite a project. You've been working on it for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's
thanks.
had.
Thanks to the pandemic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was wonderful.
Yeah,
I had
Annette
many historians that
yeah.
were available,
That's right.
archivists, so lots of help. It was great.
They were available and bored. They wanted to work.
That's right.
So Annette had a few exhibits at the university, at the gallery, and Barachois, the church in
Yes,
Barachois.
yeah, the old
and
church,
the old church
museum,
gallery.
yeah,
Museum.
on
On
reproductions.
costumes. Yeah,
On costumes.
yeah. Her work is very intricate and pretty impressive to see. So stay tuned.
No, thank you.
Okay. So with that said, everybody, it's a real pleasure to see you all. Looking forward to seeing you again very soon. And with that said, we should bid you farewell and
Good night, everyone.
sweet dreams.
Lovely.
Sweet dreams.
Bye.
And don't hesitate with questions. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be in touch very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.